Hello and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. We have the new patch out, the new season is out, and it's time to grind some ranked games. And for the AD carry position, there's one pick that is unbelievably powerful right now. It is Ezreal. This champion is just so good when it comes to being self-sufficient, scaling, and just carrying the games. Needlessly to say, it doesn't really measure up to a Tristana late game with a Lulu, but it's still very powerful even in the early stages of the game if you get to hit your skill shots. If the enemy gets tagged by anything of this hook support, it's just an immediate all-in angle, and it's just a rundown situation. We just keep on fighting, and there's just no hope for the enemy to have the slightest chance. Fresh damage is very insane. Especially in the early game. Like, you will see this champion 1v1 80 carries without any problem. It's actually crazy. And with the wave done here, my support hits another beautiful hook, and we just go in for a quick kill, even with the first ability, because we try to aim instead of just using auto aim. And now it's a base timer. There's also one thing that many of you maybe don't know about. It's just going for Gluttonous Greaves as early as possible. With Gluttonous Greaves, you have 3580 and a lot of sustain already, which will allow you to snowball the game or the lane even harder. With purchasing components for the Mana Mune, which in most cases it's going to be a juicy tier, I will have a lot of extra AD with the power of my boots and another longsword. So if my support hits a single hook, or if I hit any type of spell in a solo queue environment, it is an instant kill angle. He flashes in, knowing that the enemy doesn't have any flash available, hits the Senna, the other one jumps over the wall, the Evelynn is now making her appearance, and now it's time to just quickly walk to the lantern and just piecing out. Maybe the Evelynn will come back, you know, it's an Evelynn player, they're always crazy. So just stay aware. And if she actually comes, I just can't believe it. And now it's an instant death angle. She has to ult away. She doesn't get to because the Fresh beautifully crowd controls her. And now it's time to push this wave as fast as possible. Maybe cancel a base here with another juicy damage. Sadly we miss. And then it's money time. We can get at least 1 or 2 platings. If the enemy makes a mistake, they instantly die again. We go in for a juicy trade again. And whenever you hit the second ability on Ezreal, you can just shift in and deal so much damage. Also, with the game being in its current state, I can only recommend you guys go for more of the Mamortius more often. This item has gotten so good that life is just so much easier, and the Katarina jumps in, gets instantly exhausted, CC'd by my Fresh, and we have to be very careful here. Oh, sadly we don't hit that spell. If I was more aware, I can promise you, if I was more aware and better with my index finger to use my camera at the same time, I could have spaced differently, and I would have probably killed at least 2. Well, let's say at least 1. Oh, she jukes back into it, we hit her with a juicy turnaround, and now the Zeri is left, but then again, the Angry Bear is coming around the corner to just yoink my little lovely creep. Now he's giving me the backup I don't need, but well, we just go in for some more extra gold since he's here already, or was here already. The only thing that can realistically kill me as of this moment is an Evelynn with a full combo and ultimate ability. Outside of this, I am not really close to dying. Also very important, we're only really staying here because the Volibear is at the Gromp and blue buff, and we want to be in a position where we can do something. Sadly, the Volibear is very much preoccupied with the blue buff instead of diving them down here. We could have gone for a very proactive play since we can just disable the tower, and Volibear just chomps them alive. We're poking them out. Volibear is not really interested so far. He doesn't really want to dive even though he has ultimate, and we just have to wait now. The sign is now coming in. I should have shifted here, but I get CC'd and get so much damage, so I shift late and take so much extra damage for no reason. The sound is so angry with me. I even missed my spell here again, and everything turns really messy. My Fresh has to sacrifice himself for me because of my mistakes. But if you're the Volibear in this very instance, I can only recommend you take a look at what we can be doing in the sense of diving, and you can just accelerate this game very early on with a type of dive here. However, we are still very good into the game. The Evelynn is now very ooh, she is furious. She just flash ulted 5 seconds before the Herald spawns, which means she cannot dictate which objective will be played. So she has to be very aware that any type of mistake she makes could potentially lead to her and her team's death, as well as losing both objectives. With me knowing that the Evelynn also doesn't have ultimate, I can just go up and be very toxic here and just deal damage to the Zeri, and I can now come in for the flank, a beautiful look by my Fresh support, and ultimate hitting the enemy backline, going in to steal the kill, taking up the Lantern here, running down the Senna. Who can we find afterwards? Does she even flash? No. putting up the ward over the wall just to make sure that we know where the enemy is running. The Thresh is going and taking the tower for me. The Volibear is also here, so it's just a free angle. The Volibear cannot tank the aggro for me, so now it's a deathmatch between me and Ezreal, and I luckily win this. My Volibear is a little bit delayed, just chilling a bit, but now, yeah, we are beyond reasonably fed right now. So if I lose this game, it is 100% my fault, or I just can't deal with sideways as well as killing the enemy champions. So for example, they have the enemy Sion, and if he runs down side lane continuously, I have to at some point choose. Do I kill 4 of the enemy champions with my team, or does the side laner lose? Gwen should theoretically never lose, but you never know in WildRift solo queue. Also, you're seeing here something I'm doing more often now, especially after watching Chronic stream in the past. Whenever I play AD carry, I just take Proto Belt. The reason is the proactive element of Proto Belt, catching people off guard, just avoiding things or being proactive in a sense, outvalues the stasis, because it is not a controlled environment. The enemy does random stuff all the time, and there's just so many more things I can do if the enemy isn't good, which most of the case you just realize that the Proto Belt will just help you. And now we just made a grave mistake. The enemy turns on us and we just get ran down. You know, I speak about this, the enemy, you know, not being as good, and then we just run it down and I give like 1k to the enemy's area in not even 7 minutes into the game. So yeah, speaking of not being good, I apparently just ran it down. Oh, Senna actually secures the kill on the Thresh, knowing the limits of her champion. The Evelynn not picking up the fruit, and here we're just going for a little snipe. Maybe we can get a few minions, deny them the push potential, as well as hitting them, but we miss. But well, that's the reason I wear glasses, I guess. We have seen the Evelynn. The Evelynn makes her appearance maybe going for the ward, but we know she's going into the river to the crab, so we just ditch the bot wave and we just immediately go for the play, but the enemy Senna's also here, so we just, well, we should be lucky that they're not pathing in any other way. But yeah, if the Evelynn was alone there and just kited the crab or took longer for the crab, we could have done some serious damage to her and maybe even yoinked the crab from a greasy bacon grabbing hands. Yeah, most of the time, as an AD carry, what you can do is you can just hide in the brush for a brief moment when the enemy doesn't really know where you are, just to make sure that you get the pounce on them. And if you get the pounce on them, for example, as an Ezreal, like you hit an auto attack and your first ability and your second ability, then you can just shift in with your third ability, you'll do so much damage up front that even if you were behind in theory, you would still win, simply for the fact of you dealing damage so early on before they can respond. Another thing that you have to know about when you just play Ezreal, just be very proactive when you look at the map with your ultimate ability. Where did my first ability... I need better glasses, I swear. Anyway, your ultimate has barely any cooldown, right? Since you're spamming your first ability on creeps and monsters all the time, you get it back so fast that using it doesn't really pose any downside. And by doing so, you basically deal more damage on the map. If the damage matters is another thing, you basically inflate your damage count. However, if you get very, very proficient with what you're doing, you can determine a fight on the other side of the map without even going there. Nice TH, by the way. And here you see I'm investing into the Hex Drinker stocks, going slowly for more of my Mortiers, because I don't want to get one-tapped. They have a very heavy AP damage profile. Zeri has a decent amount of AP damage. Katarina, Evelynn. Like, I need some kind of tankiness to not get immediately blown up by the Evelynn. And here I'm on sideline because the Evelynn can't really do anything to me, and if you're wondering, why is this guy spamming exhaust? So, I'm assuming if the Evelynn appears, all I have to do is just exhaust her and kill her. So all I'm doing as of this moment is just spamming exhaust into Fog of War. So if she appeared, which we just saw on the other side of the map for a brief second, I can just instantly exhaust her and get her killed. Like, I just got crit. Like, how much crit does she have? She just blasted me into Narnia. Shield bow just too broken, I guess. The Katarina is now going in. A beautiful look by my teammate. We have to be very careful to not get caught off guard. I have to be very much aware and don't just get caught randomly by a stray spell. And if I do get caught, I instantly die. A beautiful hook again by my support, and then a beautiful sign combo kicking the rooted target. Now I have to be very, very careful to not just die. It's a turning angle again, but I do not want to give them even more gold. But what I can do again is I can reset my first ability's cooldown. Oh my god, the Evelyn is here again. I survived. We are both so lucky. None of us actually deserve to survive this. I was aiming for the backline to get damage with my ultimate ability, while she was just going for me. Oh no, no, no. But I'll certainly get the dragon, right? Oh no. Oh no, you hate to see this. Please, kill the Evelyn. Don't die to the Evelyn. Oh no, no, it's gonna happen. No! It happened. Oh no. Yeah, you just love to see it. But yeah, now we've reached a point where we're relatively tanky against her, because we have Maw. In the past, Maw only applied on auto attacks, now it applies on spells. And since the generation of Maw is not really cut by anti-shielding and anti-healing, to my knowledge, it's a very powerful item, especially if you get to deal damage before you potentially get one-tapped. So somebody jumps you and you use your entire combo into them, you get a damage shield for every single spell and attack you do, as you just seen on the sound, right? I'm also hitting minions. As you see, the shield is stacking up, and it's a sizable amount of my HP bar. And since I'm constantly recharging it if I get to hit anything, it makes me very, very tanky compared to like other champions. This combo is also very powerful on MF, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in another video. I've played a little bit of Misfortune, a little bit of Samira, and in all of these games, Maw of my Mortius has gotten so good. It was so powerful, and my support just absolutely smurfs this. Hits a beautiful hook while I'm just back in, I'm just in the backline, just have to collect easy pickups without any fear on the planet. That's the beauty of playing an AD carry when you're perfectly being cared for. And the Evelyn makes her appearance. It's a pro belt angle, an exhaust angle. I get completely blasted with the ultimate. Without Maw and exhaust, I would have died regardless. The Katrina comes here. I see the lantern too late. I bring over the dagger to the Thresh, and he nearly dies. Oh no. But yeah, Maw again. It really much saved me here. Oh, the Evelyn is just a psychopath. She just looks for these picks, which is exactly what Evelyn players do all the time. And now she even, like, this is a little bit too much, Evelyn. This is a little bit too much. I hate to break it to you. You are overstaying your welcome. Like, all the picks before are arguably very good, but now she's like, I want just a little bit more. And then, as you're getting greedy, like, you know this feeling on an AD carry, you just go for that one fateful plate, and everything looks peaceful, and then the entire enemy Avenger squad turns up and kills you. With the enemy jungler dead, there should be no realistic threat of losing this Nasher. We just combo the damage and we just do a 43 damage smite or whatever it was, but we'll not talk about this. And now it's a quick little trap angle for the Scion, but we just probably can't kill him. We just lack the mana. He lacks the HP. It's way too much of a risk for no reason. We push up the wave together, recall together, and now it's a team angle. We will now run together as a team and make sure that the life is, well, as I say this, the Gwen just runs it down. Cool. Yeah. But right now, one person should be looking into stopping the Scion, whereas the rest runs down a single lane, making sure that the enemy has no way of getting anything done. And here, I'll try to proc the crown, sadly I don't succeed, and the moment I have exhaust again, Evelyn doesn't pose an instant threat to me. I also keep my control ward because it's very much important to have this against the Evelyn. And with the Evelyn being as where she is right now, I'm just being very careful, not taking too much of a risk, playing it relatively slowly, playing backline, and getting jumped on by multiple people flashed on, and I just can't escape. Like, this would be one situation where if I had Zhonya's, it would have been better, or, realistically speaking, if I position better in the mid lane, not in this corridor, nothing of this could have ever happened to me. So yeah, theoretically speaking, Stasis would have allowed me to do this, or having flash, or just being in the mid lane instead of where I was. And if you're wondering, why Bloodthirst on Ezreal? Like, I've got this question multiple times, and the answer is the following. Bloodthirster provides you with a sizable amount of AD. Like the item is 50 AD and you gain, was it 11 or 12 to 25 AD? And you get a lot of extra vamp and attack speed. With the idea of having Gluttonous Grease, Bloodlining Runes, or Alacrity, depending on what you prefer, then going for Bloodthirst, so you have a very high AD count, which then, again, turns into very high sustain, which in combination with the Maw, since you're already dealing such high damage numbers, provides you with a bigger shield. So unless you get one-tapped, or completely CC chained, the enemy has very big issues killing you. Like, if I don't have Maw here, I instantly die. And it's quite insane that they still dealt so much damage to you. Oh, she just went by and my friend, he just peaced out. Nope, and he is just gone and randomly died. That's a rough angle. Yeah, this should be a free one. We just walk in a straight line, we just throw our spells, she can't really avoid any of this, and she just dies instantly. What a messy fight, and I lost my flash again, but you see my HP bar is refilling so fast. I just have to move upwards, do my full combo upwards again, follow up my Volibear, play backline. As long as I have a front line, life is very good, and if the enemy backline, or rather the assassins, can jump me, things could potentially get very, very problematic. So as an AD carry against these type of champions, you really want to have more and play around your exhaust. As long as you do this, life is so much easier. Here we even hit them with a fadeaway, trying to even poke some more, looking with an ultimate again, trying to annoy them as much as possible, which is very, very important. Clearing this wave now, and then after this wave we rotate to the Baron, so the enemy needs to make a decision at some point. Like they're currently, okay, she's dealing with this, but normally, like if it was a bigger wave with multiple cannons, you could make the argument that the enemy has to respond to this, or they risk losing so much tower health that the tower will die. And then with so many, like with both sideline inhibs down, it's getting really difficult to play. My team is now taking care of the Scion eventually, while my Gwen is keeping at least one enemy preoccupied. So the enemy, since they have no jungle, can't really do anything here unless my Volibear misses the smite. So all I have to do is just dance around, deal some little damage, lovely damage to his objective, hope he smites it, and then we just move over, clear the next wave, spend our gold, and prepare Elder. You see me, I'm not running there instantly to place a ward because right now I can't protect it, so there's no point of doing so. And you'll see, like, the next fight will determine the game, so I'm like debating what item will I go, what item could I go, what item can actually do something. So I'm really thinking I'm wasting so much time. And my conclusion is like, I guess I just go Wit's End. The answer is simple, I want more magic resist, it grants me a little bit more attack speed, and I just had the item spike. Theoretically speaking, I could have gone for an AP, like an HP item, which would have probably been the best choice, since it would stop them from one-hitting me, but this is like a middle ground. And my team, luckily for me, is already winning without me having to do anything for this fight. Since the enemy was overextending, the Evelynn now face checks, tries to get the Elder, one-taps the Syndra. We just love Evelynn. And now it's a run-on angle. Katarina, you just can't do this. The exhaust button drops because the game is over if she just instantly dies. And now with the Scion in the bottom lane, trying to be the inting Scion, intis win strategy abuser, it's just not enough. And we just walk it down mid lane. I was saved many, many times by this lovely Maw. It's just a very powerful. I'm just throwing on my ultimate just in case he's trying to recall, even though it doesn't even matter anymore. And yeah, what a beautiful performance by the team. An early season masterclass of madness with the AP champion demolition. Like, AP champions are crazy. And for the damage graph, if people are actually wondering, we'll see quite the juicer. As you see, that's quite a lot of damage, wouldn't you agree? Let's go back in time again, take a look at it again. But yeah, damage-wise, it saves you so much. Like, the enemy damage profile was really heavy magical, so making sure I live longer makes life so much easier. And with that, we're at the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, boost the algorithm into Narnia, and we'll see each other in the next video when I talk about probably either Samira or maybe some misfortune. And we got another permission from a Chinese YouTube channel about gameplays. So look forward to this and see you soon on the stream.